What is up? Bleeding Blue Podcast, episode 43. We are back at it this Thursday. And right now, we're still in the midst of recording this podcast in the middle of a series against the Astros. I have not been paying attention to this series at all because, again, it has not been going well for these Blue Jays. Last night, especially, this will be posted on Friday, so I guess we'll be talking about the Wednesday night's game. The Blue Jays were up 2-1. Things were looking promising. And then, of course, the obvious occurs where we end up losing the game 9-2 with Yordan Alvarez being absolutely insane. But on a positive note, let's actually just talk about the All-Star game right now. We have a player on our team on the Blue Jays that has been named an All-Star, starting All-Star to the All-Star game. Ryan, reveal it. Who is it? Who is the madman that has been who is going to the All-Star game?
Monsieur Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Vladdy Guerrero Jr. I mean, well deserved. Well deserved. That Ryan Mountcastle and Vladdy debate on who's going to the All-Star game was just absolutely ridiculous. There was no reason why Ryan Mountcastle should be the All-Star over him. Why Ryan Mountcastle should be the All-Star over Vladdy. Like
Yeah, unreal, unreal. I think we talked about this last podcast about the comparisons between the two, and it's just light and day. Vladdy's much better in every single hitting stat. I don't know about defensive, but who gives a shit? It's first base. But yeah, Vladdy deserves this. It's his third starter selection in the last 4 years, which is pretty awesome. He's been selected 4 straight years, which is pretty cool. Well, do you think he will be a part of the? He will make his try to defend his title as home run derby champ? Do you think he will
that's
be
a good question.
participating?
Well, there's already right now they got Gunnar Henderson in it. I haven't seen any other
Hmm.
players, but I'd love to see Vladdy participate in the home run derby. I think that'd
Hmm.
be fun to
I
watch.
think he will. I think he will because he wants to defend his title, right? I think he has to be a part
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. He just won. He can't. No, one done. I think he will actually. That's a good point. I
He's
could.
not. It's not as he's
He's.
not been producing as many homers as he's expected to be, but he won last year, right? So I think he has to be participating.
I.
Who are your other predictions that will be a part of it?
I think. I'd like to see. I'm trying to think of who else.
I think Soto or Judge, one of the two, will be a part of it. I think Soto most likely because he loves that. He loves that type of stuff.
Yeah, Soto.
Um, I don't
Maybe
know if Judge
Judge would
wants to
be
do it.
interesting. I would love to see Judge in the home run derby. Maybe J Ram. Uh, he's
Yeah,
been he's been pretty good this year. Um, Bryce Harper would be awesome to see.
yeah,
Ketel Marte, maybe that could be an interesting
yeah.
one. Tatis would be another one that I'd love to see in the home run derby.
Hmm.
Tatis, that specifically because when I was working at the Rogers Center last year when the Padres came, he puts on an absolute clinic in batting practice. Line drives to the second deck, like in at the Rogers Center. Absolutely insane.
Hmm.
The freak of nature, that guy. Vladdy is too. Vladdy during batting practice, you don't get to watch as much because again, they do it first before kind of everyone gets there. He's also a freak of nature when it comes to batting practice.
Yeah, this will be a fun one. I'm just looking through this roster of the of the AL team. They got obviously Vladdy. You got Adley Rushman at catcher, no debate. Um, there, you got the cheater Jose Altuve at second base. You have Gunnar Henderson, who's having a great year at shortstop, and obviously we just talked about Jose Ramirez. I think he was
He's the
by
third.
far the best third baseman in the AL. And then Judge, obviously, like there's no question. Soto and Stephen Kwan having hitting, was it 360 on the year? Or
Yeah.
I think even more. Yeah, he's playing great. People are saying it should be Kyle Tucker over him, but come on. If you're hitting 360, I think you have an automatic spot in the All-Star as a starter in the All-Star game. So I think and obviously Jordan at designated hitter.
Jordan, yeah, no. After also the series against the Blue Jays, going 3 for 4 last night with what did he had a homer, right? He hit a homer.
Yeah, he had a homer and two doubles. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
unreal.
absolutely deserved. He is this one of the scariest. Like he gets in the batter's box, you are terrified. I think he's arguably more terrifying than Judge. Just the way he looks too,
Yeah.
like Jordan just looks scary. Like the Cuban Missile, that was a
Yeah.
nickname for who did they call the Cuban Missile? Aroldis Chapman.
Mhm.
He was the Cuban Missile. Jordan Alvarez, also a Cuban Missile, bro. He is terrifying. He is terrifying.
He
And
kind of reminds me of David Ortiz in a sense where like, he's just up there to hit bombs
he's
and
clutch. He's
he's clutch too. Yeah, clutch and lefty hitter and just sends it like 450 feet every single time.
yeah. No, he hits the baseball literally anywhere on the field. He can hit it opposite field. He can hit it dead center. He can hit it, and he can pull the shit out of the ball too. Which was what he was doing, what he was doing the last few games. For the National League, though, they've got some interesting ones like Alec Boehm at third. I don't know how well deserving that is for Alec Boehm. Actually, he's been.
Mhm.
I'm just not the biggest fan of him because I don't know if you remember when he was like, what did he say? He said, "I fucking hate this city." Like we mouthed it when he was playing for the
Oh, really?
yeah, and then he got in trouble for that. And he just yeah.
I'm
Um,
just looking at the selections here. I'm looking at obviously first base is Bryce Harper, but there's no runner up because he's just been that good. And there's no other good first baseman
yeah, man,
in
he's been
the
awesome.
National League.
It,
But yeah, he's been incredible. I don't think
Jerks
there's
Profar,
debate.
being center fielder, which is another interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, no starting pick for Mookie Betts either. Trey Turner took the fan vote over him, which is interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
the only Dodger that got picked was
Otani.
Ohtani. Wow, that is interesting that Tatis got the vote over Mookie. That's a surprise. Mookie's also been
Well, it's because the Phillies have a massive fan base, and the Dodgers also. But I think the Phillies care more about their fans going into the All Star game than the Dodgers do. I feel like there's.
and also Mookie's on the IL too. That's the other thing. So
Oh, okay. Is
yeah.
he going to be? I don't think he'll be participating, right? He won't be a part.
No, no, I don't think so either. I don't think
Okay.
so. Yeah,
But yeah, two outfielders from the Padres making it with Profar and Tatis both having great years. Surprisingly, Profar has had a surprisingly good year. I've never heard of him up to this year. Just hitting what 239. Um, wait, no,
339.
311, 311, 311,
Yeah,
311. Yeah, which is pretty cool. Yeah, he's playing great.
yeah. And then Christian Yelich just back to Yelich MVP form, which is always
Mm,
he's always been a fun player to watch. He's got a lot of power. And he's just been hitting the shit out of the ball too lately. Like he's hitting 333 right now. Is the best average in the National League. Obviously, he was injured,
wow.
but still good for him. Very good for him. That's pretty cool to see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So we can move on, I guess, and talk about the rest of the J series. Again, game one loss. Right now, again, the Astros are a good team, so I can't really say much about them. But there was like they just are better than the Blue Jays. Like the Blue Jays stink. It's hard to really like they almost lost the game two when they scored 7 runs. Uh and
Uh-huh.
so we lost first game. We lost 3-1 to the Blue Jays. Ernie Clement with the only home run, and Jordan and Jeremy Pena with the other. Like, who was the pitcher for the Blue Jays that game? Yariel Rodriguez, who was very good, very very good.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's
yeah.
him finally be good. But I wanted to talk about one player. I've been meaning to talk about this guy. Spencer Horwitz, man. This guy has been great for the Blue Jays in the last little bit. A little bright spot for this team, hitting 288. He's got a .7 WAR right now in only 22 games. He's got 3 home runs and an 889 OPS. He has been very, very important and vital to this team right now. A very
Yeah.
player. I can't say enough about that guy. Spencer Horwitz has been great, and Ernie Clement's been also a very important player as well to this team. Ernie Clement hit the home run in 236 right now. Just and also great defensively too. So yeah. Okay.
Jesus, man. Did you get any fucking sleep last night? My
Yeah,
God.
I'm just when you get too much sleep, you wake up and you're tired, bro. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Well, it also because off topic, but we had a long shoot day yesterday. So yeah, it was a long day. So we're both
I,
tired, but
I'm
we got
actually
to do
I
we got to
don't
do the
feel tired.
podcast for the fans.
I don't feel tired. I think because I haven't showered, still in tired mode, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, yeah. So again,
The the Buffalo boys, they're playing well.
I'd love to help this team out. And
Springer's coming along though. He is coming along. He is now the ninth best hitter on the team in terms of batting average with hitting 213. It is not it's low, but it's an improvement. But it is an improvement from what he used to
oh,
be.
he
So
in game 2, he hit an absolute shot off of
yeah.
fastball too, which he always with age you tend to struggle with those types of pitches, especially fastball, being the fastest pitch. But yeah, what did he go? He went right here. George Springer went 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs, 2 strikeouts, albeit. But yeah, at least he wasn't as bad as Dalton Varsho, who is really been struggling lately. And yeah, so Ernie Clement or George Springer, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
about the guy.
I have news for today's game. Apparently Bo Bichette has been scratched due to a contusion in his shoulder or arm. So that's some breaking news for today's game. I mean, the guy has been like super quiet. Like that guy's done absolute jack shit
Bo
for
has been
us.
Bo has been struggling. Bo has been
He
struggling.
is going to be dealt at the deadline. That is
I
for damn sure.
he doesn't. It just from what people are saying and what I've just heard on certain platforms like X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, uh, that he just looks bored. He looks, disinterested and feels a change of scenery. But that's coming from sources of, podcasts like Foul Territory who are talk about all baseball and don't really have an insider source of what really is going on, and that's mainly just an opinion. Again, it's an opinion from a professional and people who have played baseball and know how people are feeling, but we don't really know how he's feeling. He could be loving it right now, but that's what's going on. I think I could see him being dealt and going to a different place. They're not going to get much out of him because he hasn't been hitting well. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what's going on with him. I really don't. Maybe there's an injury, there's an underlying injury, but he's just been uncompetitive. That's all I can say. And that's
Yeah.
why Vladdy's going to get the contract and he isn't. It sucks because Bo's been such a vital player to this franchise for a long time, and I've talked about this a few times in the past of how I love the guy and he's been so much fun to watch. But yeah, it sucks. It just sucks. It's too bad, and it's too bad that IKF's on the IL as well, which is another sucky thing. Hopefully, he is good enough by the trade deadline, which is at the end of this month. He can he will still be able to be dealt, I guess, and
Mm-hmm.
be a valuable asset in the trade deadline. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think after that comment that he made earlier this week or last week about how he wouldn't be surprised if he got dealt. I think that kind of I think after that he kind of just doesn't really care for this teams. Obviously he probably does care, but like in terms of other players, I think he's kind of lost it a bit
Yeah.
for trying to get this team back into a playoff spot. So
No, fair. I totally agree with you. I was gonna say, so yeah, right now we're 8 games below 500. Last place, last place, last place. One thing I did want to mention, which was absolutely hilarious, which if you're not on Twitter, you will not understand this, but there has been, I'll explain it to you and I'll explain it to the audience. There has been this lady on Twitter called Bo Bichette's wife who has been, you know, kind of been she's been on there forever, but nobody follows her, nobody really cares about her that they haven't noticed. But somebody like of significance with lots of followers retweeted or replied it to her tweets, and she tweets out the most disturbing, creepy things about Bo Bichette. She goes to the games, takes pictures of him like pulling at his shorts and like looks like Bo turned to me and pulled his pants, looking at his pecker just for me. I love this guy, saying I can't. He makes me so horny. I just want to like have sex with him and shit like that. Somebody replied, "You're a creep. What the fuck are you doing? Like this is so creepy and weird." And she's like, and then everyone saw it and started like commenting, like, "What the fuck is your problem? Like, why are you saying this? This is harassment, bro. Like, stop." And then she's like, "Stop fucking bullying me," and using like slurs and like playing
Victim card.
acting like the victim. And then finally she ended up getting banned or yeah, reported a bunch, and then her account got taken down.
Good.
And yeah, I'll tell, her name's Cassie or something like that. She's like some 40-year-old weird crackhead. That's what she looks like in her profile picture. Apparently, another crazy thing is that she was dating or engaged to an online lady, like that she met for the first time like a few months ago or something like that. So it just,
Wow.
no, I mean, she's got something wrong up in her head, but still, if she doesn't, and maybe she's just this arrogant and just like, obviously there's something up with her, but she's obviously a weirdo. I can say that. Um, yeah, dude, you gotta chill with that. Like that's so weird. Like that's so weird.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's good that people are like not ignoring it and like being like, bro, you got to shut the fuck up. But it was crazy on Twitter. It got to
Yeah.
the it was like other fans of like not even just Blue Jays fans. It wasn't just the Blue Jays like Twitter thing. It was all
Hmm.
fans were like, bro, who is Bo Bichette's wife? Like, who is this crazy lady? And like,
Yeah.
it was wild.
That's out of proportion. There's no way. Like, I can't
And
believe
there's
there's people out there who are that like, obsessed with one person that they don't even know. Like,
I know.
that's insane.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? I think also that like there was more stuff she said as well that was creepy. Like there was just a big spam of tweets that she had said, but like everyone ignored them. And then yeah, and then she's gone though. Like she got taken down, which is great. But hopefully, bro, like she's at the game, so you can see her. If we're at the game or something like that, I'll point her out and show her because I think she's a regular.
Mm.
She might have like a season's pass, but yeah, like
She should be banned from all Jays games,
yeah,
like
man,
home
like
games.
that's so creepy.
That's horrible.
It's not supposed to be. That's not baseball's a children's sport, bro. Like, and like she's probably like 20 years older than this guy, and like just
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird.
That not weird. That's horrible. Like
Yeah,
any person, not just like, you know, a guy, especially a guy who's like, well known in sport world and someone who already has distractions. Like he doesn't need that psycho online, uh, tweeting every single second. Have you seen that show, Baby Reindeer on Netflix? Oh wow, that's a wild show. So basically, it's kind of similar to what Bo Bichette, I guess the Twitter account is kind of experiencing, even though Bo Bichette probably hasn't met this person before.
Probably has no idea who she is. That's the other.
Yeah, of course, yeah. He probably doesn't know. But yeah, it's wild, man.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
wild that's a wild scenario.
yeah. Let's talk about today's game first. Let's do our predictions, and then we can see, and then we'll do Mariners series predictions. How about that?
Okay.
All right,
Sounds good.
you go first. What do you think? How are we? Are we going to split, or are we losing 3-1?
No, we're gonna lose.
Who's on the
It's
phone?
it's July 4th. It's
Romber and Chris
Independence Day.
Bass. Yeah.
Oh, Bass is playing? Okay, well then maybe they might win. because Bassett's playing well.
Split, it completely changes completely changes the mood, bro. Like it's like, oh
Mhm.
shit, let the series on.
Okay, all right. Now I changed my mind. I think the Jays win.
All right,
I
fine.
think they win.
All right. And then how about Blue Jays Mariners? What are they going?
3-game set. Okay, they're away. Mariners are leading the division. Um, who's pitching for the Jays?
They haven't announced.
Okay. I say we lose the series 1-2.
I can agree with that.
1-2.
Suck.
We're definitely losing. We're definitely losing tomorrow because it's a travel day and it's back-to-back games from Toronto all the way to Seattle. That's not going to be fun for the players in terms of jet lag. So I say the Jays are going to lose that game, and they'll win one. Yeah, they'll go 1-2.
I can agree with that. Yeah, no, they probably will go 1-2. This is what so yeah, like again, they suck at T-Mobile Park. They are absolutely
Oh
terrible.
yeah, okay. I
In
didn't know that.
2022, they got swept in a 4-game series, which is just
Oof.
terrifying. And then last year they went 1-2 against them. Lost. They could have won the series, but it was just horrible games. First game we got walked off by Teoscar Hernandez. Uh,
Nice.
Second game, we were up. We were up 8-5, I think it was, in like the seventh inning. Nate Pearson came in and gave up the lead. So yeah, it was something like that. I remember Nate Pearson coming in and just shitting the bed. But yeah,
I don't
they,
know how you remember one 3-game series against the Mariners last year.
dude,
I can't remember. I can't remember half of the Leaf games.
you could tell me a series, dude. Let's play this game right now. Just tell me a
Okay.
from 2023, and I can
All right.
tell you the score or what happened in the game.
All right. What about I don't know. I remember when they played the Cubs. That's actually kind of no. That's because they played no, yeah, the second game against the Cubs. How did the Jays do? I know
Second
the
game
first
against
game was Bautista's. That's the
okay.
only series I remember.
The second game against the Cubs, they ended up losing. Whit Merrifield hit a home run to tie the game. It was Justin Steele, and then at the top of the ninth, I'm pretty sure, Christopher Morel hit a go-ahead double off Jordan Hicks. You could take a look and see if I'm right.
Okay, so say that again. So
So Whit Merrifield hit a home run. It was Justin Steele who was pitching. I forget who. It wasn't Barrios. It was Bassett that was also pitching game two. And then at the bottom, and then the bottom of the or top of the ninth, it was a tie game, and Christopher Morel hit a double to take the lead and give the off Jordan Hicks.
what was the score?
Was it 5-4?
This guy's unreal. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at yeah, you're right. Yeah. Justin Steele pitched, Bassett pitched. Yeah. Merrifield hit a home run.
Do another one. Just
One
one.
more? Okay, one more. All right. Here, let me just search up a random team. All right. We should do this every let's
Once.
do this. Let's do this one day and then the other day you pick a random Bills game from last
Okay.
year and I have to tell you what happened.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. A sec. 20. Okay. All right. Tell me what happened in the third game of Jays Diamondbacks, July 16th,
Okay, I could
2023.
totally do this one. I might not know the score, but
I'm kind of giving you good ones because they're from the NL and they only play one series against the Jays, but
fair enough.
I'm
Uh,
starting off light for you.
well, the Diamondbacks almost came back and tied it. Mitch White ended up giving something like 3 runs up in the top of the ninth, and then Eric Swanson came in. I'm not sure what the final score was. We definitely were.
Who started for the Jays pitching?
Let me think. Kikuchi,
Okay.
and then for
Who started for the Diamondbacks?
Oh, it's not anyone. It's not Brandon Pfaadt, is it? Is it?
No, it's not him.
Uh, it's Ryan Nelson.
No,
No, who was it?
Tommy Henry.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't even know who that is.
I
Okay, but you know the final score?
was it 8-7,
No, 7-5, Jays.
7-5 Jays.
But
Okay.
you were right about Mitch White giving up 3 runs in the ninth.
Yeah,
So
that's what I thought. I do. I totally remember that game because they were about to.
okay,
And then I
that's
remember
crazy.
Mitch White came in and we had a big lead. And then I was like, oh my God, bro.
All right, do a Bills game. Do a Bills game. I want to do this.
Okay, fine.
Pick a Bills game. Pick a Bills game from actually no, do 2 years ago.
Okay.
From the
So
last 2 years.
what year?
From the
2020.
last 2 years. 2022 or 2023. You can do the last 2 years. I can figure it out.
All right, here. Let me figure this out first. Let me just find
All
it.
right, we're just for people who are listening, we are doing a new game. Remember a game from the last 2 years. I'm doing Bills games because I remember them the
Okay.
most.
So
He's doing Jays games.
2022 year, so the year they went 13-3.
Okay.
All right. Let me look at games and schedules right here. All right. Here we go. Um, Game 4 against the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, so Baltimore had a big lead. It was like 17-0. They were up at half. No, not at half. They were up like 14-0, 17-0, and Bills just scored a touchdown before halftime to go 17. It was like 17-7 at half, and then Bills came back. Josh Allen rushing touchdown, and then he had a passing touchdown to Dawson Knox, I believe.
Yeah.
And then the Bills just held the lead the whole time. There was a couple interceptions. Jordan Poyer had an interception in the second half. Yeah, the score was like 20-17, and the Bills won it on a field goal.
Very close. Very close. 23-20.
Shit. I
Yeah.
knew they won. I knew it was tight. It was a tie game.
No, but
And
you're right.
then
You're right about everything else.
Josh Allen tied it with a rushing touchdown, and then the Bills just held the ball the whole time, and then they kicked the winning field goal at the end to win, and they were 3-1 at that time.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you got it. That's
Dude,
right.
it's actually easier for the Bills games because there's only 17 games in a year.
Yeah.
It's harder for you
And
because
there's
you
a
have
lot.
100, you have 162. But yeah, I remember that
I
game
could do
vividly.
2022 as well, probably, because well, like second half maybe. But another thing I did, which was kind of fucked when I was like during school. So when I did my homework and during the off season, like when I was at school, I'd
Mhm.
have Blue Jays in 30 from like the 2022 season games I had already watched, always
Dude,
on.
I know. I see you all the time. You always watch like past Jays games. I'm
Yeah.
like, why?
Like it's just like I don't even know if it's a stress reliever. It's just something I like going back and having the memories, getting a little taste of those
Especially when there's no baseball on, right?
is when
That's
there's
kind of that's
baseball,
kind of what I do too. That's kind of what I do too for
yeah,
football.
when there's no baseball on or when they're really really bad. Like what I'll do, like when I'm at the gym when I'm running, I'll have a Jays game on or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah, me too. I like whenever there's no football on, I watch like I went through this one phase of YouTube where I screenshot on Wikipedia, I screenshotted the past like playoffs and I just watched all the playoff games from the past like 5, 6 years in a row.
That's
And
sick.
like oh my God, playoff football is another level, man. It's
Oh,
so
I do the same for baseball.
I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, there's only a couple more months and like I need football back. I need it
You're just
so
like,
bad. Couple more months, bro. Couple more months and then football.
no,
All
I'm
right.
actually excited for the season too, bro. I'm hyped
You're
for.
gonna get more into it because you
I'm already no,
got into it at the
and
towards the end of last year when we started the podcast, and then now this year
football is
we're gonna do a couple live streams for Bills games, and that'll be a lot of fun.
it's
That'll be a lot of fun.
lot of fun. I'm telling you right now, like football.
You want to get we'll get you into some fantasy football, maybe.
I
That'll be
need to
fun.
do
That'll
more
be fun.
research on football. I got to start like becoming a better
Yeah.
football guy.
Yeah, maybe we'll get you in the fantasy football league and see how it goes. That'll be fun.
I know.
Fantasy football is way better than baseball fantasy. Like
I know.
that you it gets heated fantasy football time.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
All right. Let's move on to do you have one for I'll go first if you don't have one for
Things I
that
have
don't
mine.
make
I have
sense.
mine.
Things that
I
don't
have
make
mine.
sense. All right.
I'll go first.
You want to go first?
I'll go first, sure. I'll go first. Okay, so this one, I think a lot of people will agree with me on this one. Daylight savings time. I think it's pretty fucking stupid. There it's so stupid. Why do you have to put the clock forward and put the clock back? Like it's so fucking ridiculous. I don't understand why we have to do this every year. Like twice a year we put the like one time we put the clock back and then we put it forward. It's so fucking stupid. And you know, some like country in Europe or something wants to keep it. I think it's like France, but like everyone else wants it. Everyone wants it gone except like one country, so we have to keep it. I just it makes no sense to me. I have no idea why we need this stupid shit. Daylight savings time is so fucking dumb.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
So dumb. I think everyone can agree with me. There's no way someone thinks it's a good idea.
No, it doesn't make any sense. I do not think it makes sense whatsoever.
And what's the point of it? So that there's more light time? I don't know. I don't know.
From what I've heard, it's for the farmers or something like that. It's like that's the point of it. I don't know. You could look it up. It's like, what is the point here? Let me do a quick little. What
I guess for the farmers, but
they
uh
here we go. Simply put, the practice of setting the clocks forward by 1 hour during warmer weathers to extend evening daylight allows people to make better use of natural daylight.
all
Okay.
right, but like you can do that by, conserving your own time. Maybe you don't have to rely on switching the clocks. Maybe just schedule your time better. I don't know.
I don't get it.
Relying on this stupid rule.
Yeah, and then what sucks is it ends up getting so fucking dark during winter, bro, so early, and it's
Yes.
terrible. It's like
It's
five.
dark at 5 o'clock.
Sun is going down, bro. Like the sun is, yeah, it's crazy. Okay, for mine, I've got one that I kind of talked about before, but it's all about this one kind of revolves around July 4th in itself, but because I don't even agree with that because it makes no sense why we're celebrating Christopher Columbus when all he discovered was like fucking Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic and didn't even discover the USA. Like I think most people do, but Christopher Columbus did not discover
Mhm.
USA. It was some other guy. It was probably the Vikings to begin with. That's who discovered it back in the day. But anyway, that's something that doesn't make sense. But fireworks,
Mhm.
main one for me, bro. Especially on these days, they're a waste of money. They're cool if you have to get the good ones. Like you have to, if you're gonna do it, and if you're
Mhm.
gonna go and get some expensive ones. Get some ones that are actually worth it. Don't get the shitty little cheap ones. They're not even cheap though. That's the thing is they cost so much fucking money. And that's what I hate about them is like especially watching them like I spent me and my buddies like all together probably spent over $700 on fireworks. Uh and they ended up not being that good because like they just were lame and they did the exact
Mhm.
same thing. And also they make a mess too that you got to pick up and everything. You got to pick up all this garbage. And like every now and then you'll get an angry neighbor that's like, yeah, too loud, too many fireworks and all that shit. So
Mhm.
not my thing. They don't make sense to me. They're the hype, I guess, around them doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, that's
I don't think our family has bought fireworks in like 8 years. I don't think it's been a while since we've paid for fireworks. Our neighbors, like I mentioned last time, they get the whole street to like invest in like these industrial grade fireworks, and it's an insane show. It only goes on for like 5-10 minutes, but like the fireworks are insane.
yeah.
So I never pay for I never pay for fireworks. But yeah, let's I think like I mentioned last time with this predict remember the game. I think this is a great segment for every day, every podcast we do. Just one game. You do the Jays, I do the Bills. Honestly, if you did a game from the Josh Allen era, I will remember it.
I
Honestly. So the past like 7 years, I could probably remember the game because that's when I was started heavily investing in in football. So I think this is a good segment to keep for every day. We just do one game to remember from the past few years of Bills and Jays.
yeah, dude, you
I
could.
think that's a great idea.
There's so many. Like again, score might be a little bit hard depending
Mhm.
on the game. I could tell this score might be hard, but I could probably from any game I could tell you who hit a home run, who got on base, who pitched, who like.
Yeah,
But depending on certain games, I can tell you the score. I can tell
yeah.
you game one after the All-Star break versus the Boston Red Sox was 28-5. I'll tell you that right now.
That was after the All-Star break?
That was the first game after the All-Star
No,
break
I didn't know that.
series. I totally remember that. And I was working at the time and I was like asking my buddy because I didn't have my phone on me. I was like, dude,
Mhm.
for the Jays games. And he's like, and he doesn't even know anything about baseball. So he's like,
Right.
it's so normally he's like, it is 15-1. I was like, what the fuck? No way.
That's
No.
so funny.
And I
That's
was like,
good.
let's fucking go. And then like I checked back at the end of my shift and I asked my buddies like, and then he's like, dude, it's fucking 28-3 right now. Like, holy no fucking
Yeah,
way.
that was the one that was Raimel Tapia's Little League Grand Slam, right?
Inside the park right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
That was I think I remember watching a bit of that game. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That
That
was
was what, 2 years ago? That was
2020,
2 years
bro.
ago. Yeah, yeah, 2 years
I
ago.
I
Wow.
watched that game
What
all
a
the
time. What a
yeah,
time, man. That was a great team.
yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. Great players on that team. Right on top, yeah. What a legend. Bradley Zimmer, another dude.
Yep, Bradley Zimmer. Fuck's
Bradley
sakes.
Zimmer. Trying to think of who else was on that team. Jackie Bradley Jr. was on the Jays at that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jackie Bradley Jr.
Anyway,
I
all
always
right.
like he's an immaculate grid guy. Whenever I put like Jays and like Brewers, when it's Jays and Brewers or like Jays and Red Sox, I always put Jackie Bradley Jr. and
Oh,
I
you
always
could
get a low percentage.
do Trevor Richards for that too, because he was part of the Rowdy Tellez trade. I don't know if you know about that.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Rowdy
know that.
Tellez was traded to the Brewers for
That's right.
Trevor Richards and Bowden Francis.
Hmm.
Fun little fact for you. All right. Let's end it off here. 40-minute pod. Let's go. Nice and short, nice and quick. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to check out Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Spotify, YouTube. We're on it all. Thank you very much. Have a good one and see you next week.